Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your monthly reading for March. I hope everybody's doing well. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Cancer sign. So guys, just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. We're going to start with your current energy, and then we're going to look at March week by week, all the way up to the end of March. So you may want to jot some things down, and that way you can refer back to it if you'd like. If you like where the energy's going, you can juice it up and make it even better. But if you don't like what you're hearing, where the energy's going, you can kind of go in and adjust your energy so that you have a better outcome. Spirit, what would you like Cancer to know for the month of March? I have to tell you, Cancer, I started your reading, and some of you have collapsed a situation with somebody who's been in and out of your life because whoever it was didn't want that information out. Oh, and I can see why. 8 of Cups in the reverse and the 8 of Pentacles. So you may have somebody coming back into your life that is wanting to work things out. They've been thinking about things. They've been looking at the details here. So they may be coming back in to try to work things out. This could also be your energy where you're wanting to work something out with someone. In the past, we see Temperance in reverse. So there was a situation that had you on an emotional roller coaster. Things were up, they were down. You know, you weren't very grounded in your feelings and emotions because whatever this situation was kept you off balance. For some of you, you could work with this person. Let me see why all this is happening. There it is again. So Knight of Wands. So when I tried to do the reading before, like I said, I got so choked up I couldn't even talk. And it was after this Knight of Wands came out in the same position. It's in the same position. So whoever didn't want me to tell about them, they're not getting their wish. All right. Hopefully I won't get choked up again though. So Knight of Wands, you could be, like I said, dealing with somebody that's been in and out of your life. They're not consistent. They could be even a little bit of a player. This person's coming back towards you, and they're coming fast too, by the way. They want to work things out with you. Let me see what's on your mind. Oh, you have choices. You might be a little confused about why they're coming in, though, but you know that you have choices here. I do feel like if they've already come in, it's causing a little confusion, maybe between your head and your heart, but you know that you do have options. So let's look at March. I got to tell you, I already don't like this person because they tried to shut me up. Ace of Swords reversed. Yeah, it's a lack of clarity. There's confusion. There's a lack of clarity that's here at the beginning of March. So let me see how you're showing up. You're showing up with the Moon. You're very intuitive. You're trying to look at things from an intuitive perspective, but you feel like, you know, like there's things you might not know. And you're also moving in a very quiet manner yourself. Some of you could be battling a little bit of depression too, so be careful with that. Let me see the energy coming towards Cancer. You could have a Leo coming towards you. Yeah, this is somebody that, you know, wants to provide clarity. We see a lack of clarity here. This is somebody that's going to come in. They see you as their happiness here. Let me see the outcome, or see Spirit's advice. Let me see Spirit's advice first. 9 of Cups in the reverse. Be careful if you're dealing with somebody who has substance abuse problems, particularly alcohol. But Spirit is basically saying, you know, there's some energy here of someone who is a little bit selfish. Be sure that this is what you want, because, you know, there's a wish fulfillment that you're trying to get to achieve. And this might not be it. So we'll clarify that for sure. Let me see the outcome. 7 of Pentacles. Kind of pulling back, waiting to see what's going to happen. You know, I see you investing, but I see you investing in self. Yeah. So bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. This is underlying energy. Now this can indicate that you don't feel like you're well supported by close friends or family. There's actually a feeling here that somebody may have been disloyal to you. You could also be having a bit of financial issues, financial problems, and this is why I see you working very hard. You could have had a little bit of a financial setback. I don't think it's going to last, but you know, I can see where for some of you there's a little bit of a setback. But this also indicates an ending of a long-term connection. So let's clarify your reading. Take that as it resonates for you. Spirit, what is the Eight of Cups in reverse? All right, Four of Coins and the Five of Coins. Yeah. So somebody is coming back. This is somebody you may have been holding on to, but you are still a bit guarded with this person. You're still healing from whatever this is. Because this person left you out in the cold or made you feel abandoned, feel rejected. And I don't think you're over that. I feel like you're still healing from what this person did. So they're going to come in wanting to work this out. Some of you may even work with this person. Watch your money, because I do see a financial setback for somebody. And it does look like that is going to improve. All right, so Strength card in reverse, King of Swords in the reverse. It's interesting because I think Scorpio had those same cards in the same placement. So if you have Scorpio in your chart, you might want to listen to that reading as well. Yeah, this person wants to work things out, but they fear that you're not going to talk to them. They're afraid that you won't speak to them, and your fear is that they're not being honest. They're not being transparent, because they have been in and out. They have been a bit of a player. So you both are going to approach this with a lot of fear, you with confusion, whether or not you should even talk to this person. Because I do feel like you're still in the healing process. You're still working on you. And you don't trust this person. You fear that they're just a liar. That's what I'm seeing here, that they're not speaking truthfully, not telling you the truth, that they're dishonest. Their fear, they're coming in, but their fear is that you won't talk to them, that you're going to, you're not going to work things out with them. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, Leo energy is also here. Let me see the past. Show me the past for Cancer. Page of Swords. You may have been checking up, seeing what they're up to, seeing what they're doing. I also see that you're pretty guarded with this person. I also feel like you've been trying to search out ways to heal as well. You are definitely devoted to healing, but you're not done healing from what happened with this person, because I don't feel like they were honest. I feel like they were just, a little bit disreputable in how they managed this connection. And I do feel like a lot of you have done a little bit of spying on them. They definitely have on you, but they're never going to tell you that. Let me see why this Knight of Wands is here. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, they've been deliberately slowing themselves down. See, this person wants to come rushing in, but they're like, no, if I do that, Cancer's not going to talk to me. If I do this, then Cancer's not going to want to work this out. So they've been deliberately, and it's going so against the grain. It's going against what it is that they want to do. You're going to definitely, if you even do talk to this person, you're not going to move at the speed that they want to. This is somebody that just wants to come in, they get what they want, they rush right back out, they're in and out, and you're like, no, you're going to have to bring me something of substance. We're not going to move fast. We're going to move slowly and steadily and towards something of substance. No more of this, come in, get the cookie, rush out. We're not doing that. So the way both of you are approaching this person coming back in is very, very different. Let me see what's on your mind. I definitely see that you have options, and you know that, but there's some confusion that's here as well. The Magician, and the Four of Swords reversed. So yeah, you're a little confused because I feel like a lot of you have some emotional ties to this person, but you may feel like, oh, well, they're just coming in to manipulate me. You could be dealing, I'm seeing strong Gemini energy for some reason, but you could be dealing with a Gemini, but I feel like, you know, part of you wants this to work out. You know you have other options, but you really want this to work out. And then there's another side of you that's saying, I don't want to deal with somebody that's manipulating me or that is just coming in and then rushing right back out. So you're trying to figure out, do you need to even talk to this person? You know that you're in a state of healing from what they've done. So you're not sure if you even want to talk to them or not. Let me see March for you. Show me March for Cancer. Show me March for Cancer, please. All right. King of Wands reversed. Three of Swords reversed. Knight of Wands reversed. Now that's Knight of Wands is the underlying energy. King of Cups reversed. Knight of Cups. Five of Wands. The Hierophant. And a Seven of Wands. So I see you going into the month of March, and somebody is approaching you that you haven't talked to in a little bit. I feel like you haven't been making any moves towards them. You haven't been trying to contact them. You haven't been, you know, you may have been kind of keeping up with them a little bit, maybe through social media, but as far as taking action towards them or calling them up or talking to them, I don't see you doing that. I see you kind of being very silent and quiet, and you really lack clarity on what it is that you actually do want to do because you're in this healing stage of things. I feel like you're pretty guarded, and I feel like, you know, you're not talking to this person currently. So I don't see the communication coming in the first week. What I'm seeing is that in the first week, you're more in this healing mode. There's a lack of communication that's happening, and you're beginning to look at this person and say, you know what, I have to protect myself because they're a player, and I don't want to deal with a player. So I definitely see that energy. In the second week, I feel like you're really, again, working on your healing. However, you're coming to terms with this person, but there is a sense here that you're extremely guarded. You're extremely guarded. You're very conflicted about, you know, the past even with this person. In the middle of the month is when we see this love offer. So that's when I would expect this person to show up. They're going to try to come back into your life after being very unkind, actually being very cold and distant. And, you know, in this in and out, they're in the out phase. And then in the middle of the month, here they pop up. They're approaching you in a flirtatious or, you know, loving manner. They want to come back into your life. They're saying you would make me happy. You know I love you. And I feel like you're going to be very guarded with this person. So expect this around the end of the second week, maybe even in the third week. I feel like in the third week, it's going to cause conflict. There's going to be a lot of conflict. It can be internal. It might be with this person or both. And it looks to me like it's going to be both. So I definitely see that in the third week. It's likely that love offer is coming in that third week. And I definitely see conflict. In the fourth week, there's going to be more conflict because either about commitment issues, or it could possibly be because this person is in another connection. Regardless, there's definitely going to be conflict. I see you getting counsel on this. I see you, you know, talking to somebody that you highly respect, a close friend, perhaps a spiritual leader, in order to try to, you know, bring your feelings and emotions under control, because this person's going to stir you up. And I do feel like there's definitely going to be conflict, internal and external, in that 4th week. But I see you standing your ground with regard to this. Whether it's saying, no, we're not just going to rush in and just get the cookie and rush out. You can either approach me properly or just don't approach me at all. So it could be regarding commitment. It could also be regarding a commitment that somebody else has, which I think would be the other person, not you. So I do see you standing your ground with this person. All right, so let me look at how you're showing up. Show me how Cancer is showing up in this reading. Show me how Cancer is showing up in this reading. Yeah, you're keeping to yourself, aren't you, Cancer? You're not really like, you know, you're not really putting things out there. You're keeping to yourself a little bit. All right, so we have Judgment in reverse. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the 9 of Swords. And we have the 8 of Cups. So what I'm seeing in your energy is that this person's going to probably pop up when you least expect it. I definitely feel like this person's going to pop up. This is somebody you haven't been talking to because they're in and out, and they're in an out phase. I feel like you have kind of pulled back. You've been dealing with you. You've been working intuitively. You're definitely deeply intuitive. And I also feel like you've made up your mind that here at some point that you're not going to get back together with this person. You're trying to heal. And then up pops this person. There's a conversation that occurs, and it does look like it's around the middle of the month. It's going to cause you a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, but ultimately, I feel like you're going to be walking away from this. You're walking away after you get the clarity. This conversation you have with this person and the resulting conflict that occurs from it is what's going to bring you the clarity. And I do see that after a lot of anxiety, after a lot of confusion, you're like, oh, you just showed me who you are. And now you're walking away from all of that. So let me see the energy coming towards Cancer. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, 7 of Swords, and the Tower. Yeah, so this person's coming in, and they are, be careful of love bombing, because this person looks like they're going to come in and love bomb you. This person has, they've gone through some sort of a tower moment. I don't know what happened, but it was linked to them being deceptive. So something, they're stuck in some sort of deception that is causing a tower moment in their life, and it's given them clarity. So I feel like whatever they did to you has been done to them. So this just screams karma all over it. So I do see that they are still deceptive. I do see that they are going through some sort of a tower moment on their own, and they're not going to be truthful with you about that. And the other thing is that this person, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like this person tries to keep you as a backup, and that's a terrible thing to do to anyone. You deserve so much better than that. So this person is deceptive, and they are in sneaky energy. It's related to something to do with the tower moment that they've experienced. I feel like they've gotten back what they were giving out. But they feel like things aren't over between the two of you. They feel like, you know, they're going to come in saying, we can be happy. You know, I just didn't see it before. But they're going to be love bombing you, so be very careful. All right, let me see. I mean, you're over here healing. You're over here addressing things in your life, and then up they pop. All right, Temperance. Now, you had in the past Temperance in reverse. So that's all that healing that you've been doing, okay? We have the 2 of Wands, and we have the High Priestess in the reverse. So Spirit is basically saying here that, you know, you have a choice. 2 of Wands. You have a choice. Do you want to heal, or do you want to move back into a situation that isn't in your best interest. It's going to be disappointing for you, and that you need to use your intuition in order to figure that out. That in time, it's going to reveal itself regardless, because we have the third eye here. We have the High Priestess, who's the keeper of secrets, in the reverse. So as you heal, you're going to see things very differently. But be careful, because somebody is coming back in with in a situation that could disappoint you. Make sure that you are balanced in your emotions. Make sure that you plan things in such a way that you are not waiting around for this person, that you're working on your own healing, that you're leaning into your intuition. And as you heal, your intuition will grow stronger. So let's look at your outcome. Show me the outcome for Cancer. All right, we have the 10 of Swords reversed. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. Now, you had the 6 of Pentacles somewhere, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that this person is coming back in. They want to heal things. They're going to sweet talk you. They're going to give you all the reasons why the two of you can heal this. They may even go so far as to say, I know I didn't treat you right. I know I betrayed the connection. You, however, are looking at this person and you're trying to determine, should I invest in this or should I not? Is it balanced or is it not? And I feel like at the end of the day, you're choosing you. You're looking at this and you're saying, I don't think this is going to work out. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to watch and see what you do. I see you doing that. You're taking a step back to see what they do, to see if it's going to be an equal give and take in this relationship. But ultimately, I feel like even though you're being very patient, you're being very kind, I feel that it's not going to be successful, because I feel like this person is in a very deceptive energy and you're going to recognize it. Once you take that step back and you basically have them show what they're going to do, not what they're going to say, that's when you're going to look at this and say, oh, no, you're doing the same thing. It's still unbalanced. It's still, you taking and breadcrumbing me, and I'm not investing in this. It's not going to work out. I'm not going to invest in it. So you've moved away from just making the decisions with your heart and making sure that when somebody comes in, you slow their roll and you have them prove themselves through their actions, not their words. And I think that that is a very difficult lesson for all of us to learn. I think we've all been there, or at least most of us. I know I have been. So I do feel like, this is you putting that into action. So bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse. That's underlying energy, Cancer. And it tells me that you are freeing yourself from something that you could not, to save your life, free yourself from in the past. You thought about this person all the time. You were tied up in your head with it, thinking about them, looking at what they were doing, maybe checking their social media. You're freeing yourself from that. You're saying, no, it's more than what you say to me. And I see you for who you are. So I see you freeing yourself from that and the anxiety that goes along with it. All right, so I'm going to pull an oracle card for you, Cancer, and we will see if there's any further guidance for you. All right, so you have number 14. This tells me that you're definitely going through some pretty massive changes right now, and it's called the awakening. So let me read that for you. I love that. Sleep no more, soul child. The time for rest is done, and now you are awakened to action by the great golden dragon of the day, ancient friend to the kitsune. In the realms unseen by most humans, forgotten by nearly all humans, there are great dragons who stand at the edge of the day's birth and death, helping all within the realm to arise and awaken to the blessings of each day. The great golden dragon within this card heralds the awakening of the day, and when this card comes to you, you know you're being called to arise and awaken to a new day within your life. I know that's right. You are called to awaken to your own belief and your own knowledge, to the truth of your own soul, and to rise up and embrace it all, to know your worth and your beauty, and to shine it out through the day before you. Treat this as a new time, even when it contains old stories, as it is still a great and beautiful opportunity to take everything that is within you and make the very most of everything that is. When this card comes to you, it's a reminder too that there are parts of you which are asleep or resting, dormant and underloved, underlived, and they must now be awakened. Think now. Seek on the dreams and wishes you sent to sleep over the years. Let them now gently awaken, one by one, as the days before you unfold, so that they come to life again, not as dreams and ideas any longer, but as events and experiences that become your life. Awaken to your power. Awaken to your sleeping soul. And arise like this great dragon of the day and call out to the world that you are coming into this day fearlessly, ready to live fully and embrace the adventures of this gift called life. And I love that for you. I definitely love that for you. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Cancer. If you have resonated with this message in any way, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Cancer, know that you are loved, and namaste.